Avatar 2, now it's in theaters, but they had Thursday night previews, and those Thursday night previews, guys, they weren't very good. It made $17 million domestically, $50 million worldwide, over the course of the Thursday night previews. That's behind The Batman, which only made $17.6 million. And if that's any indication of where we are to go from here, I don't know.
We're beginning that slow, long trek. That creep towards $2 billion to break even.
So it says right here, it says more alarming this is more alarming because James Cameron has let it be known that the flick needs to make $2 billion just to break even. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever had $28 million in their Thursday night offering. Thor: Love and Thunder had $29 million. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had $36 million. None of these, however, came anywhere near $2 billion at the box office. The ones that have, which would have been Spider-Man No Way Home and The Force Awakens, I think one opened to 50 million and the other one opened to 54 million, if I'm very much mistaken. Yes.
Avatar 2 was all right, but it wasn't 2 billion all right. It wasn't certainly not 3 billion.
The Force Awakens opened to 57 million. No Way Home opened to 50 million, and those both made a lot. But I think the number one thing here is that Avatar 1 has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. Has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 82% audience score. Avatar 2 has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes for the audience score. Now, of course, anybody who's willing to go see a movie on Thursday night, unless they're in our position, is likely to be willing to rate it high because they wanted to see it so badly.
But also, it's supposed to be for families, and I don't know if many families think it's a good time to go sit in one place with children for 3.5 hours. Yes, on a weeknight, but also on any night, any time of day. That's difficult for families. I don't really know who the target audience is, but James Cameron is like, the target audience is literally everyone on planet Earth.
His kids must be over 18. He must have like adult kids now. He must not have like tiny children.
No,
otherwise he would know that they don't sit still for 3 hours. Unless maybe he just packed his kids full of Ritalin, and that's why they were able to sit still for so long.
Maybe
but
James Cameron weigh in on this, please.
Yes. So not just that, guys, but so we've got this box office stuff right here. So it says China also had, I believe, 50. Yeah, they got 24 million from China already, so they do have a Chinese release, and that's going to swing in their favor because I think that they're fans of this franchise. So we'll see where that goes. But like I said, it's got 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. If that can stay in the high 80s or 90s, the best you can hope for right now is that they get really, really good word of mouth, and that they're able to get people to come back for second or third showings. We did not see it in 3D. I do not know if the 3D experience will be immersive enough to get people to come back for a second or a third showing.
3D was the massive appeal for the 2009 movie, not this one. In my opinion, at least. The visuals were fine, but I'm not...
She's underselling that, guys. The visuals were incredible.
I mean, yeah, but if that's what you're into, I'm not paying attention, and it might as well have been the same as Finding Nemo to me. We get into it on the review.
It's all Nemo to me.
Yeah, we already did a review for the website that's going to be up soon. Yep. We're going to do a less in-depth one later in the show that I can get into my actual opinions, but... apparently Avatar 3 is already in development.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. So this is crazy. I don't know how much people here know about the process of filmmaking, but right now, as it sits, the cut for Avatar 3 is 9 hours long, and he's making the visual effects artists do the animation, the animating, the editing, and the textures to every single second of those scenes.
Psychotic.
Yeah, he's not cutting the film down and then doing the post-production CGI. They're CGI. They're doing the CGI for the entire thing, the whole 9-hour cut. He will then cut down from there because he's apparently a sociopath who just wants to ruin people's lives.
Just running a demoralization campaign on these CGI effects.
I'm imagining that whatever effects studio is doing this is like, well, I didn't want to go home and see my kids anyways.
It's whatever. Like, the timeline is probably long enough to manage that, but it's also crazy that this is the order he's going in.
Yeah,
and I'm never gonna watch Avatar 2 again in my life.
That is
I say that completely confidently. I would never go back to the theater to watch this. I wouldn't watch it at home either.
Yeah,
it's a one-time thing. It was fine for then, but you're planning on making $2 billion minimum on people going multiple times. Everyone and their mother and their dog and their friend's cousin going.
Yep.
3 times, 4 times. It's not happening. I have to call his bluff on this one.
He's also being slammed for cruel dolphin treatment, which is really funny because you think in the age of like everyone hates SeaWorld now, kind of. Like SeaWorld is kind of universally seen as like a bad thing.
They had this promotional event where dolphins dove into a tank of water and James Cameron says, "Welcome to Pandora."
It's very not in line with the movie's messaging. That's what's funny about it. It's like he's the baddie. If he were in the movie,
the same guy as the one harpooning, the Australian who was harpooning whales in
evil Steve Irwin
in the film.
Evil
Steve Irwin's evil twin.
His evil fat twin.
Yeah.
So it says animal welfare activists say that they initially believed the mammals were digitally produced because Cameron is vegan and he creates movies with strong environmental messaging.
I told you he's the same as this actor from Succession, glued himself to the counter at Starbucks because he wants cheaper almond milk in his latte.
See,
same guy.
I never had a problem. I always got a kick out of that guy. It's like I feel like that guy in the 80s would have chained himself to trees. 90s, it would have chained himself to trees to prevent deforestation.
That's cool, but
it's kind of a throwback.
Ask him about climate change. I'm sure he has the same opinions as James Cameron.
Yeah. So it says to see James Cameron, Sigourney Weaver, and Sam Worthington sitting there applauding was shocking, says Lang. The trainers were treating those dolphins like circus clowns. They were riding on the noses of the dolphins. I mean, that's as bad as it gets. I do get a kick out of PETA because I feel like there's nobody who tries harder to meme but fails hard. Like, PETA is the definition of boomer memetics. Like, they don't actually do it well.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're controlled opposition for the vegans, not gonna lie. But if anything is a valid issue to bring up, it's circus animals getting mistreated. Like, that's Absolutely. A known fact. Yep. Hopefully no dolphins were hurt in the making of this promotional event. But also, the activists are mad. And I think that really they should be angry about this aquarium exploding in Berlin, like 1,500 fish just splayed about dead on the floor in this aquarium. Absolutely insane. So how about instead of yelling at James Cameron for using a couple of dolphins at an event, also tell this aquarium to up their standards for how they treat their fish.
But also,
there are real problems.
I think he's being sneaky. I think he knows it's not going to make $2 billion. He's like, what? I didn't plan the dolphin thing. Now if it doesn't make $2 billion, I'm like, well, they were boycotting it because of the dolphins, and
I'm sure most people haven't heard of the dolphin controversy.
People that love the water. You guys did a dolphin thing. Nobody's going to come and see the movie now. Now he's got an out. No?
And now another out is that people are getting depression from watching Avatar 2 because they wish that they could live with the Na'vi in their imaginary world.
Well, this is from the original Avatar that they were having that problem. They were having this phenomenon started in the first Avatar movie.
It started in the first Avatar movie. I didn't hear about that because I was 9. But
so it says I feel so old. The unusual phenomenon unfolded back in 2009 when fans were introduced to the lush and fictional world of Pandora. Thanks to the visual mastery that went into creating the blockbuster hit, viewers were transported into the stunning scenes of a sparkling and stunning planet that had been untouched by human forces. For many, it was a feast for the eyes, but according to a 2010 report from CNN, some grew depressed after its release because they longed to visit Pandora themselves, but realized they never could. I wonder if this happened with Wakanda.
Oh, yeah. I've seen tweets like that.
Do you think there was like Wakanda depression? They're like, I'm never going to be able to go home or back to Wakanda. Yeah. And then they did this and got very upset. Here's the other thing. I love the idea that we live in a culture now where like, postpartum depression, they're like, well, I'm not going to have any kids, so I can't feel guilty about or feel sad about the baby not being part of me anymore, but I can certainly feel bad about the CGI fake place not being part of my life anymore.
I think that this is why cosplayers exist.
Yep. It's
just to imagine that you're part of this fantasy world and role play as such, but at the end of the day, it's about extended adolescence. Like,
also, this will probably be worse.
The demonization of Earth and humanity has something to do with that.
Well, I guess the movie more focuses on the demonization of mankind.
Yeah, if you're told that all humans are evil in the future and that the Earth is dying, which is a direct quote, by the way, then of course you would want to, become this different species that has magically evolved to realize that killing is wrong. So they just stopped.
Do you think the movie will do better? I think that it's actually going to do fine because, look, not many families are taking their kids on Thursday night to go see Avatar. I do wonder if 3 hours is a good idea for a cut of a movie that's supposed to have parents and kids going together. Like, we didn't have any whining kids at the theater last night. Also,
except
the theater. For me. We had Mary was the whining.
No,
child.
Brett fell asleep in the middle.
In the very beginning, for 10 minutes.
You said 20, though. You went from 20 to 10 to 5.
No, to 10. Okay. I woke up.
Answer for this right now.
This is not fair. I woke up when Quaritch was being brought back.
Fairly early.
Fairly early.
You can still understand what's going on.
And I liked it. Like, look, guys, I'm going to go into it more, but I liked the movie more than I thought I would.
Liked it.
I liked it. That's, I get
fun.
a lot of crap. It was fun. But no.
I have positive things to say about it as well.
But also the thing for it is like, I am a geek when it comes to the computer generated imagery, any graphics like that. Knowing the amount of work that had to go into making the CGI that well speaks to me at least a little bit, especially when we see so much lazy CGI these days. So
I think especially when they emphasized the visuals over every other aspect of the film, I was expecting it to be flawless.
At least they delivered on that aspect of it after bragging about it. So do you think that this makes $2 billion? Based just off your opinion of the movie, do you think it makes $2 billion?
No. I mean, even the highest grossing films right now aren't reaching $1 billion.
No.
Wakanda Forever is not reaching $1 billion.
I mean, if it does, it's going to have to be a very long hold, meaning that Spider-Man No Way Home made it there because it was literally the #1 movie for like a gazillion months.
Okay. Is The Way of Water going to be in theaters for like half a year? No. Otherwise...
We'll see. We'll
you
see.
Really think so?
No, I don't think it makes.
What do you mean?
Maybe it makes $1 billion. I don't.
Yeah, but $2 billion.
But
are they about to lose $1 billion on this?
They're projecting $500 million opening weekend. That's going to be their big haul this weekend. It needs to be bigger than that. It does.
Let's see. That would be insane to watch.
So, guys, as far as I'm concerned, the 9-hour cut that he supposedly has going on for the next one, that's the one that I'm interested in. Like,
how about he just doesn't cut it? Just put it out at 9 hours. Since people don't care anymore how long they have to sit in the theater. Why don't we just all quit our jobs and just go sit for 9 hours watching Avatar 3?
Technically,
what's the limit?
We wouldn't have to quit. We could
right. We'll get paid for watching that for 9 hours, but I just might end up being suicidal at the end. That's the drawback.
It is funny too because look, me and you advocate all the time that we don't need to have all movies be CGI. But look, if that's your selling point for this movie, it better be flawless.
Yeah, so, I agree.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.